Andy's Place, two of the managers, Ed Forbes and Katrina Bowen. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Thank you. Thanks for
Andy's
having
Place.
us.
How long has Andy's Place been housing residents?
Right now, it's been housing for just short of 2 years.
And it's full right now, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow.
Real close, yeah.
Yep.
So let's find out first about you guys. Katrina, how did you find yourself at Andy's Place?
Actually, so I got a recommendation from the former director of treatment court here in Jackson, Noel Turpin. He pulled us aside one day and he said, I got an awesome gig for you two. I know you've heard of Andy's Place, and do you think you would actually be interested in managing it? And we kind of went from there, and it's been amazing. So, but yeah, we got an actual recommendation from the director.
Nice. Do you live there too?
Yes, we are on site.
On-site manager as well, Ed. So co-managers, or do you have different duties as?
Co-managers.
Yeah, both residential managers.
Yeah.
How about you?
Basically, I help work with the men. She helps work with the women. So
Nice. And how did you happen to end up at Andy's Place?
the same with Katrina here. Just one day we were approached by New Topel and offered this position, and skeptical at first because I didn't think I had it in me, but turns out I do. So.
Interesting that you're skeptical, because this is a facility for people who have had drug issues
Yes.
that then end up in the court system, and it's a way that you can avoid jail and other severe punishment by being a resident at Andy's Place, right?
Yes. So in order to get into Andy's, you have to be in a treatment court of some kind. And actually, me and Ed are former treatment court participants that graduated and then graduated from probation. So, yep.
And so if someone wants to live there, there's a process.
Yes.
And it starts with the treatment court.
Yeah.
Yep.
The treatment court has to refer to the Community Action Agency. The Community Action Agency puts them on a list with MISTA, and then it goes from there.
Yep.
How do you like living there?
I love it.
I love it.
I love my apartment. I love the actual community. I love the residents. It's good to be able to give back what we've gotten. So I absolutely love it there.
Plus, it's brand new. It looks
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous on the inside. Brand new weight room. There's a beautiful community room, a resource center. When you first walk in, there's this big old giant couch and books in the lobby. Like, it's all brand new and just gorgeous.
There's your weight room or physical
Yes.
workout room.
Yeah.
And I think since this was shot, we've had the landscaping and everything still looks a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've just recently been blessed from Andy's Angels with a nice concrete pad for a fire pit for at night,
For bonfires.
and soon a future game room type area, so we can get people to come down and interact with each other.
Yeah.
Well, great assistance for people who are in recovery, and it's I know designed so that people can get back on their feet and then get back into real life.
Yes.
And that's your case. You both are in recovery,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yep.
you, for the show, agreed that they would be willing to tell their story. I'm curious. So, Katrina, how did you end up in
I may cry.
as a guest in drugs?
So I started doing, I want to say pills and stuff when I was really, really younger. I was actually prescribed Norcos, and it kind of like took off from there. one day I ran out of the Norcos, and I had a friend that offered me heroin. He said it's the same high as the Norcos, as the prescription pills, and it kind of just spiraled out of control after that.
Wow. So how long were you on the prescription?
So probably 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you were prescribed Norco for 7 years?
Yes, on and off. Yep.
Wow.
And then it led to one thing, and I ended up doing heroin. At first, I wasn't an IV drug user. I was snorting it, and then the next thing I know, I turned into an IV drug user, and I lost both my kids due to it. And then started running the streets, that fast-paced life. And I felt like after, I lost my kids, what good was I? Because if I'm not a mother, I'm nothing. So I ran from treatment court. I actually got accepted into treatment court the first time. Did really, really good at Odyssey House, which is a rehab, for a good 10 months. And like a switch, it kind of was like, yep, nope, I'm done with this. We're gonna call it quits. And that's actually when my rights were took as a parent. I ran actually, absconded probation for a good 10 months after that. And then treatment court picked me up again, and I was really, really hesitant at first. I threw a fit, like, if you guys are gonna send me back to Odyssey House, I don't want this crap, give me my jail time or prison, I'll do it. 2 weeks into me sitting in jail, something kind of started changing. Okay, I don't want this life no more. And essentially you're really playing Russian roulette when you're out there. And so I decided to re-accept the treatment court. They sent me to a program in Macomb County called SHARE. And it was a 4-month program, and it was actually like a lockdown facility. And the whole time I was there, I've never felt so free in my life. And then kind of from there, I got out, did my first meeting. And I remember in the beginning, like doing the 12-step meetings or treatment court in general, like, I have to do this my whole life. And slowly but surely it started becoming my idea, like, I get to do this my whole life. And along the way, we've met incredible people who actually is a solid foundation, from a different lifestyle to now. Those people that I had in the past, if I would have called them if my car broke down or nothing, they wouldn't have helped me out unless there was something in it for them. The people in the recovery community truly will give their last shirt on their back to you to help you out. And from there, it's kind of been one of my loves. And it's just been steadily growing. And that's one reason why I really like being at Andy's place and being able to help others.
Amazing. So obviously some rock bottom moments for you.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Ed, how about you?
Well, it started out when I was young, smoking weed, drinking, doing cocaine. Years went on, I progressed into methamphetamines. I did methamphetamines multiple different ways for 20 plus years, or 20 years, excuse me. I became an IV user. I lost everything. I became homeless, and ironically, I was homeless on the lot where I'm resident manager today. What clicked inside of me is when I went to rehab from recovery court is not the damage I did to myself, but the damage I did to the people around me and their families, et cetera, et cetera. That made it click for me. So when I got back from Petoskey, Harbor Hall, I knew what I wanted and was to stay sober. So, I had a full-time job. I was doing 85 meetings a month. I was doing, all the IOP and everything else that the courts had me do. I went above and beyond what every expectation was of me, and I still try and do that today.
So as managers, you've been there, done that, and I guess what for people that are residents at Andy's place, you can see through any BS.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty good at that. So
Yeah.
The success of Andy's place is spawning a new facility. It's phase 2.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are excited about that because it's going to be able to help more people. And it's going to happen right in your backyard, right?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Like right across.
Right across the parking lot.
Yep. Well,
What will this have that, are there things in the current campus that will be duplicated, or are there going to be some new, so you got family housing,
yeah.
more of that on the new?
I believe there's going to be the family housing. The new family housing is going to be for pregnant women in recovery, and basically that's statewide to be able to get into there
Yeah.
instead of the original 5 counties.
What's been the success rate of people in Andy's place? I know it's not everybody, and that's impossible.
To be honest, I feel like we are actually way more successful than, expectations were put on us. We, don't get me wrong, with recovery, there's always going to be relapse. We do have a small handful that have relapsed, but also out of that small handful, we've been able to figure out what they need to accommodate them to get them back on track and get them, back on the saddle and keep going. But then we do have another handful that just don't want it or aren't ready for it, and you can't force recovery on somebody that's not ready. So we have a really good success rate, though. We have people right now that are off probation, done with treatment court, that are still living there and doing fabulous.
There's still a few there that was like the first move-ins that haven't slipped, haven't fell, that are still doing great.
Yes.
I can tell you're forever changed from the experience you've been through. Does it define your life?
I would say yes, in a good way though. It's part of who I am, and it's part of what I'm becoming, and it's going to be part of my future. So,
I just wish I'd learned it a lot younger. And these new people coming in, they're so young. If they could just get it, where they could go with their life after that, is just unthinkable,
Well, we appreciate you sharing your stories with us. Great to know we have this facility right here in Jackson, and it sounds like it's being well managed.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us on.
You bet. Good to see you both. Phase 2 coming soon, thanks to Andy's Place Apartments managers, Katrina Bowen and Ed Forbes. Next up on today's show.